And hello, family. Good evening, baseball fans. Hey, cousin. Great to see you once again. Thank you for that wonderful, amazing gift, brother. Thank you so very much. Here we are, still hanging out in 1971 in our 1971 leading to the Legacy Mode project. And tonight we're going to have a battle of division leaders in the American League. So let's get to it here. But first, let's look at these standings. In the National League East, the Pittsburgh Pirates are 35 and 14, 8.5 games ahead of the Mets, and 9 games ahead of the Cubbies. In the National League West, the Houston Astros 4.5 up on the dogfight in the middle, the Padres, the Braves, and the Reds. In the American League East, the New York Yankees just a game up on the Detroit Tigers and 5.5 up on the Baltimore Orioles. And in the American League West, the Oakland A's starting to pull away a little bit, 6.5 up on the Chicago White Sox, and everybody else there below 500. Oh, that would have been great, Ken. He says he just left a Saber Zoom with the guys from Ballpark, moderated by Derek Bain. Oh, that would have been so much fun to see. This working for a living, Ken, is vastly overrated. Just vastly overrated. Oh my goodness gracious. So, but it is what it is, what it is. It is what it is. All right. So here we go. This is gonna be should be a good one. Should be a good one. Let's get into it. Make sure we got yeah, we're good. We're good. Good. We're good. And yep. So it's going to be Vita Blue versus Ron Klein. And welcome to Yankee Stadium for tonight's game between the Oakland Athletics and the New York Yankees. And again, a battle between two division leaders. Oakland on a 5 game winning streak. Vita Blue on the mound for the A's. 13 starts in the year. And Vita Blue is 12 and 0 with an ERA of 1.70. I guess he thinks he's Addy Joss or something. What a start for Vita Blue. So this is game number 51 for the Oakland A's. This will be his first start against the Yankees, and he'll be opposed. I said Ron Klein. I meant Steve Klein for New York. And 10 starts he's made for the Yankees, 6-2, earned an average of 2.89, and this will be his first go round against Oakland. It's a calm night here in New York City on June 1st, 1971, and it is calm, calm, calm. All right. Oh my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. This really very much is the highlight of my day. Looking at the starting defense here, 12-0, absolutely, just crazy, right? Let me pop out these comments. A little easier to see that way for me. So Cousin says things that he's learned. The inventor of Ballpark never played any games like that. That is APA or Strat. He made the game for zone enjoyment. Um, wow. Cuz if you think about this, and I wonder if Derek might have asked this question, because this is something I would have asked. I would have said that now looking back on it, and you've made this incredible game. Do you feel that the game do you think that you would have brought a lot of preconceived notions into it, or found yourself being influenced games like APA and Strat and all the others? So he just right for his own enjoyment. That it's what an incredible game. Hey, Philip, did I have trouble with YouTube tonight? I have no idea. I just got home from work like 20 minutes ago, fed my cats, got changed, and jump on here. So I wouldn't know. I know that Robert was in his 10-minute ticker, so I just didn't want to jump in at the end of that. I did see my Buccos won, but no, uh, I really couldn't tell you, Philip. But good to see you, buddy. Nonetheless, so channel you guys need to subscribe to. By the way, Philip, excellent content creator. So look at the starting defense here for the 1971 New York Yankees, leading the American League East. They are 33-14. Oakland 34-17. You had to update your YouTube. Took a while. I never knew you had to update YouTube. No, I've never heard of that. I really have never heard of having to update YouTube. So that's interesting. Unless you're talking about your channel, if that's what you mean, because YouTube itself is just YouTube. So maybe there's something that had to be done with your channel. In left field, it's Roy White. In center, Bobby Mercer. In right, Felipe Alou. At first base, John Ellis. At second, Horace Clarke. At short, Gene Michael. And at third, Danny Cater. Behind the dish, the great Thurman Munson. And on the mound, Steve Kline. Steve Kline, ready to face the top of the Oakland order here is Bert Campaneris. No, the YouTube. Okay, I don't use that. Okay, so it was down. Okay, I don't use the YouTube app. Everything I do with YouTube is on PC. So YouTube was down. Not surprised. You know, YouTube can be sometimes a little bit squishy and squiffy. All right. Let's do this thing. Bert Campaneris, Joe Rudi, Reggie Jackson. 1, 2, 3, and here we go. Steve Kline, full count coming in there, and Campaneris just looks at one on the outside corner. So nice fastball by Kline to pick up the strikeout. One away, Joe Rudi hitting 282 with a home run and 17 runs batted in. And Rudi swings, fly ball, sinking liner out to right field. Alou back, and he has it. For out number 2, Reggie Jackson on an 8-game hitting streak for the Yanks, hitting 303, 13 home runs, and 41 runs batted in. And Kline with the 1-1 pitch. Reggie hits this one deep to right field, off the wall and right. Felipe Alou plays the carom off the wall, and Reggie Jackson with a 2-out double. All right, brings up Mike Epstein. Epstein hitting 230, 5 round trippers, 12 RBI. Reggie Jackson in scoring position, top of the first here at Yankee Stadium between these division leaders in the American League. 2-0 pitch and slow roller out there to Gene Michael. He has it and up to Ellis for the 6-3 putout. So the Yankees get a hit, strand a runner. We go to the bottom of the first inning, Oakland. We go to the bottom of the first. The Oakland A's, nothing. And New York Yankees coming to bat. Starting defense for the Oakland Athletics in left field, Joe Rudi. In center, Rick Monday. And in right, Reggie Jackson. At first base, Mike Epstein. At second, Dick Green. At short, Bert Campaneris. At third, Sal Bando. Sal Bando ripping it up thus far this season. We'll get to him when it's time. Dave Duncan behind the dish. And Vida Blue ready to go. Vida Blue, again, off to a 12-0 start. And not so terribly unbelievable in maybe in terms of the winning streak, but his record in the actual 1971 was an ERA of 1.82 with 24 wins and 8 losses. Just a ridiculous year for Vida Blue. So, and there is D. Scott Howard. Welcome in, buddy. He says he grew up watching Steve Kline in Central Washington. He's 4 years older. Watched him from Pony League to the Yanks. His dad had the store in town that sold baseball cards. Good guy, came back to coach high school. What a cool story that is. Nice. All right, Horace Clarke leading things off here, hitting 257 with 13 runs batted in. Vida Blue has the sign from Dave Duncan, and the lefty winds and deals 0-1 pitch, and this one lined foul into the seats, third base side. Blue comes home, 0-2 pitch, promptly laced into right field. Base hit. Horace Clarke on at first with 6 stolen bases this year, and here's the captain, Thurman Munson. 220 average, 3 home runs, 17 runs batted in. So I know that for a lot of people, not only is it necessarily just seasons, but even players. So remember, with the legacy mode, with Thurman Munson, you could start even with his final season. And you only, with Action PC Baseball, you don't have to own the succeeding seasons that are coming up, and it will bring in the rookies. You just put them on their team. So, um, for me, it might be Roberto Clemente or what have you. So, the new legacy mode, which we're testing, but you have to play through a season to get to it. And I just didn't want to autoplay the season. 1971 is a great one. All right, here's Thurman Munson. If you're a Pittsburgh Pirates fan, Vita Blue Deals 0-2 pitch, fly ball deep center field. Monday back at the track, makes the grab, and Horace Clarke will get back to first quickly. Of course, the strongest arm out there, Reggie Jackson, best range, Joe Rudi, and Rick Monday does Rick Monday things. Here's Roy White, switch hitter, batting right-handed against the lefty Vita Blue, hitting .365, 8 home runs, 46 runs batted in. Philip says he'd stay up, but his wife has to go to the hospital in the morning. Totally understand, Philip. Get yourself some rest, and wish things well for Mrs. Philip. Definitely, definitely, definitely. Good night, my friend. Prayers and all the good stuff for you and your missus. All right, Blue Deals 0-2 pitch. This one, easy ground ball to third. Bando throws a strike to Epstein, and they do just get Roy White on the play. Horace Clarke moves into scoring position. Here's Bobby Mercer. Bobby hitting .306, 4 home runs, 36 runs batted in. Vita Blue lets it go. 1-1 pitch. Mercer sends this out to left field. Joe Rudi backpedals just a few steps and makes the grab for out number 3. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. We go to the top of the second inning, and we are scoreless here in Yankee Stadium. Sal Bando, Rick Monday. Sal Bando hitting .315, 16 home runs, 44 runs batted in. He was leading the majors at one point. Not sure if he still is. We'll check that after the game. Klein deals 2-0 pitch. Bando pops this one up second base side. Horace Clarke calling off Ellis, makes the grab. 1 up, 1 down for Rick Monday. Rick Monday, hey Unifix, how you doing, man? He said he saw Vita Blue lose his first game on opening day at RFK in 1971 in Washington. A's lost 8-1, then Blue won his next 8 in a row. He says that he met Vita Blue outside the ballpark before the game and got his autograph. I hope you still have that autograph, man. That was a monster year for Vita Blue. Wow. Crazy stuff. Thank you for sharing. I love when people share their baseball memories. I really sincerely do. Just wow. All right, here is Rick Monday and Steve Klein deals. Monday, this one, fly ball pretty deep to right field, but Felipe Alou gets on his horse, grabs the reins, turns around, back, and just at the track makes the grab for out number 2. All right, here's Dave Duncan now. .248 for him, 7 homers, 28 ribbies. Klein peers in, has the sign from Thurman Munson. The wind and the 1-1 pitch, skied to left. Roy White walks back 2 and makes it for out number 3. Bottom of the second we go. We've been having some pitchers duels lately here in this 1971 experiment. Too early to tell right now, but no score. So you don't, but you got many other items. Man, talk about them. Would love to hear them. Baseball memorabilia, such a good thing. I love it. Stories about the greatest game on earth. All right, John Ellis, Felipe Alou, Danny Cater due up for the Bronx Bombers. Ellis hitting just .189, 5 runs batted in. So saw limited action in 1971. Actually finished the season then in .244 average with 3 home runs, 34 runs batted in. So Vita Blue brings it home. Count even, and big cut and a miss, but missing on that curveball. So 1 away, Vita Blue issuing his first strikeout. John DFW, welcome in. And Brother Jack Dawson. Good to see you guys in here tonight for a little 1971 baseball. Felipe Alou now hitting .326, a home run, 23 runs batted in, batting in the 6th slot. Danny Cater waits on deck. Vita Blue deals 2-1 pitch, and this one smacked hard back to the mound. Vita Blue off the bump to his left, feeds on to Epstein for the 1-3 putout. 2 down now for Danny Cater here in the bottom of the second inning. .302 average for Danny, 4 home runs, 32 runs batted in. So right now, he has hit as many home runs as he did in 1971. Vita Blue deals 0-2 pitch, fly ball. Rick Monday ranging to his right and gets it 10 feet in front of the track for out number 3. No runs, no hits, no errors. 2 gone here at Yankee Stadium, and we are scoreless. Enzo the picker. Yeah, pretty much. I just always pick one, Enzo. Got a lot of baseball cards as Unifix. So yeah, Enzo, I just pick one, but I don't really like, because you can do computer versus computer strictly in this game, and just have it pause between plays. But I find it doesn't do it the way that Out of the Park baseball does it. So I just tend to pick a team and manage. But and then it's a way to get all you guys involved if you want to make some switches or whatever. Yep. So your oldest card is a boxing card, 1910 of Joe Gans. Super cool Unifix. John DFW says he's setting up a season ticket game. Opening day, the 1966 Braves versus the Pirates. John, you know I'm rooting for the Buccos. They had a good team in '66. So, and what a great year for music. Eleanor Rigby came out in 1966, and from the Left Bank, Walk Away Renee. Not that I remember that year, but I know my music. So let's go Bucks. All right, here's Dick Green. He will start things off. Dick Green, Vita Blue, and Bert Campaneris, 8-9-1, due up for the White Elephants. Klein has the sign from Thurman Munson, 0-2 pitch, and Dick Green pops this one out towards short. Gene Michael ranges to his left, and he would take that easily. The Lou brothers led off for both teams. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun, John. My Buccos, it's a pretty damn fine team, and you start to see the foundation of the lumber company. Samuel Smith, you've been playing hooky. What's your deal, man? You haven't been around in a while. Good to see you, buddy. Says good evening. Going to be testing new Dombrov in a few with the new Dombrov. Wow, I'm looking forward to that, man. Oh man, I'm excited. I am really excited. You are so lucky to get that offer from Richard. I'm going to be beta testing Payoff Pitch, so I'm thank you to Avenroot. I got invited to that, so I'm looking forward to that. But Sam, that's really cool, man. Wow. I hope I hope Richard has done something with the interface, because he really does have a fine baseball game there. Truly does. So Samuel Smith, the man that makes me spend way too much money. Now, Samuel, I just bought a car, so uh, please be gentle. Please be gentle on the spending, brother. All right, here's Vita Blue. Yeah, that and Payoff Pitch are the biggies. Yeah, I mean, it's awesome, man. We got Digital Diamond. Oh, great. Can you stream the alpha? Yes, he said he's a lot. Actually, I'm going to be testing the beta, and yes, he gave me permission. Gave me permission to. He said if you want to show it in your channel, you can. So that should be in a couple weeks. Really looking forward to it. I mean, I'm going to buy the game, but I said, yeah, thank you. I said I'd be honored to test it out. So I'm really looking forward to that. Yep. So getting near the beta. So I've got to play a few games offline. I'm going to get used to it first. But yeah, that's coming. And I'm so glad Richard's been really quiet, Samuel. So I'm really excited because I do love the game. It's just been such a hard sell with that user interface. But guys, it's really a good baseball game. All right, here we go. Klein deals 0-2 pitch, and Vita Blue cuts and misses on a curveball. 2 down, back at the top of the order now for Bert Campaneris, who struck out on a 3-2 pitch. Steve Klein brings it 0-1 pitch, bouncer to Clark, plenty of time, on to Ellis for out number 3. We go to the bottom of the third in this pitcher's duel between Vita Blue and Steve Klein. Gene Michael leading off here for the Yankees, then Steve Klein, and then back at the top of the order, and Horace Clark. Gene Michael hitting at a 242 clip here. Home run and 13 runs batted in for him. Tonight's game is brought to you by the Louisville Jerky Company. So you guys know I'm like, well, in Europe I was a vegan. Here I'm a vegetarian. But even if you're a meat eater, this company they specialize. Of course, this is all it's vegetarian, but it's great jerky. They make like Jamaican style. Their best is the Carolina barbecue. It's really good. So Louisville Jerky Company. You can catch them at loujerky.com. Check it out. Good healthy snack. Much better than munching on chips. That's for sure. Although I like chips too. So always got to have a sponsor, man. Being able to start with real stats and standings at any point in the season is going to be fantastic. Game changer, John. You're absolutely right. Game changer. You know, because you're not going to have to like, okay, I want to pick this game up in right after the All-Star break. You can just do that. That's bloody amazing, man. Love it. Unifix is a vegetarian too since 1974. All right, brother, vegetarian. Cool. Since 1974. Nice, 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 nice. I became vegetarian in 1990 two. I think, yeah, 1992. 1992. All thanks to a little book that took me a half hour to read and it completely broke me. It was called 50 Ways to Save the Animals. And the cover illustrator, I remember, was by the creator of Bloom County, Burke Breathed, who is a big animal rights activist. So I resisted it. I resisted it. My girlfriend at the time, um, she had read the book, and we were doing animal rehab work and animal rescue work, but I resisted it. And there was one night she was in grad school, and I had just, working for Penn State. So this was late 1992, and I wasn't ready for grad school at that point. Didn't go to later, but anyhow, I was like, I didn't really. It was like one of those nights, man. I don't feel like doing much. And I happened to look over, and the book was sitting there. I'm like, all right, I'm going to read this, and I'm going to just point out all the errors in it. And took me a half hour, and haven't eaten meat since. So, and the thing is so John, I get it. I don't preach it, but what I do ask people though is if you're not going to be a vegetarian, at least buy products that are cruelty free, so shampoos, things like that, because animal testing is absolutely, positively unnecessary. It's just cruelty for its own sake. Um, yeah, the name of that company is Louisville Jerky Company. So Louisville, just like Louisville, Tech or Louisville, Kentucky. And I mean, their stuff Unifix is really, really, really good. It's really good. This Carolina barbecue is awesome. The Jamaican jerk is good. They've got garlic truffle, all kinds of good stuff, man. That's cool, John. Hey, just you're helping the animals by buying animal friendly products. So I don't judge people whether they're yeah vegetarians or not. But if you're buying if you buy products that are tested on animals, I do kind of say, come on, you don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. We already know. Look, nobody's going to put a whole bottle of shampoo in her or his eyes, right? It's going to burn. We know that, but yet they're still blinding animals. And just quick story, my stepbrother used to work for a pharmaceutical company, and he got firsthand what he saw, and it was part of that company where, if you guys remember that news story, because he had quit, he was just sick of what was being done to the animals, where all these beagles were actually rescued. And of course, to offer his other medical proof, thalidomide tested safe in animals. And guess what didn't? Penicillin. And had we gone strictly by animal testing, think of all the human lives lost and look at the tragedies that happened in the UK as the result of thalidomide. So, animal testing is just bullshit. It's bullshit. John says plenty of vegetarians here, but a smaller percentage than most of the country. Yeah, we're getting there. Hot Wheels. He says glad to see your Legacy first season moving along. So he's on September 23rd of his 1982 season. Need to pick up pace so you can guide me through the Legacy setup. I will once we get past the All-Star break. Then that's when we're gonna rip through this. But this has been a lot of fun so far. But yeah, try to keep pace with you, brother. Try to keep pace with you. Playing a damn fine season there, 1982. All right, here's Gene Michael. So it's going to be Gene Michael again and Steve Klein and Horace Clarke due up for the New York Yankees. 0-1 pitch. And this one rolled down to third. And Bando firing the strike to Epstein for the 5-3 put out. One away. And here's Steve Klein. So Steve Klein, wow, how about it here? A 321 clip, 2 RBI. So, not too bad, man. He's 9 for 28 on the season. In the real 1971, not so much, but we'll not worry about that. Vita Blue deals to Klein, and Klein lines this one right to Rick Monday. So hit it on the sweet spot, but Rick Monday guiding it right into the pocket. 2 down, back at the top of the order, and here's Horace Clarke. He is 1 for 1, and he opened up the Yankees first with a single. Blue deals 0-1 pitch, and there goes Clarke again. This one lined over Campaneris into left field. So Horace Clarke now 2 for 2, and a definite threat to steal is Horace Clarke. 6 thefts thus far this season. Thurman Munson, 0 for 1, batting with 2 down. Flew out to right center last time. Vita Blue brings it home. There goes Clarke. Duncan up, and they nail Clarke. Good play. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors. And we've played 3 here at Yankee Stadium, and we are scoreless. D. Scott Howard said when he was in college at Western Washington University, someone snuck into the lab and set the monkeys free. Awesome. Awesome. All right, number 2, 3, and 4 hitters due up for the Oakland Athletics. Joe Rudi, Reggie Jackson. So yeah, I'm a big time animal activist. I've worked hands on, but it was an evolutionary thing for me. I worked for circuses and saw the cruelty that was done there, and then just moving right along. But it was the book that culminated for me. But again, I don't judge people. It's like, oh, you eat meat, you're an asshole. No, if somebody gets on me for being a vegetarian, then the gloves come off. But otherwise, man, just cruelty-free products at least. All right, Joe Rudi, here we go. Flew out last time up. And taps back to the mound. Steve Klein fields it easily. And on to John Ellis for the out. All right, Reggie Jackson, 1 for 1, doubled back in the first inning. Klein deals 2-1 pitch, and this one grounded past Clarke into right field, base hit. So Reggie 2 for 2 now, single and a double, or double and a single, whatever you want to say. All right, Mike Epstein is 0 for 1 away here. Yankees looking to turn 2. Reggie with 5 stolen bases, however. He's no slow coach over there. Throw over, and Reggie Jackson back easily. By the way, before I forget, just take a moment to say memory eternal to Reverend Jesse Jackson, who departed the mortal coil. Or as we say in the Eastern Orthodox faith, who's fallen asleep in the Lord. So Jesse Jackson, great civil rights leader. We're greatly diminished, I believe, with the loss of Jesse Jackson. All right, back to action. Here's Mike Epstein now back in the box. And 1-2 pitch, roller to Ellis. Ellis is going to take it to the bag himself. On the play, Reggie Jackson moves into scoring position. Sal Bando, 0 for 1. Unifix says have to finish writing a boxing article. Cool. All right, well, thanks for stopping in, man. Appreciate you always, and hope to see you again here soon. Third time in, you get a wrench, by the way. You'll be a moderator. So thanks for coming in, my friend. All right, Sal Bando, 0 for 1. Popped to second last time, huh? Yes, indeed. Memory eternal to Robert Duvall. We mentioned him, was it last night? Or the other night? Last night? Because we were talking about, of course, his role as Tom Hagen in The Godfather, the first 2 Godfather movies. But also, one of my favorite roles, of course, him as Max Mercy in The Natural. What a great, great actor. Ron Klein deals 2-2 pitch. Or Steve Klein deals, Gene Michael onto Ellis, and that will retire the side. We go to the bottom of the 4th. We are scoreless here at Yankee Stadium. Thurman, Munson, Roy White, Bobby Mercer. Munson gave it a ride to deep right center last time, huh? Dave Duncan behind the dish sets the target. Vita Blue lets it go. 0-1 pitch. Roller to first. Mike Epstein will take it to the bag himself. One up, one down, and here comes Roy White. Roy White, nothing for one. So just 2 hits for these teams. As Blue deals 3-1 pitch, well, now we've got a 3-2 lead for the Yankees in terms of hits, as this one is over Dick Green's head and into right field for a base hit. So Roy White is aboard, and here comes Bobby Mercer batting with 1 down. Bobby is nothing for one, flew out to deep left. Last time up. And this one high and gone, open the window, Aunt Minnie. Bobby Mercer with his 5th home run of the season, a 2-run shot, 349 feet from the dish, and the Yankees with a 4-0 lead, or a 2-0 lead now in the bottom of the 4th. Tender Mercies, one of your favorites, great movies. Robert Duvall was just incredible. Incredible. Too bad with the contractual crap that he couldn't have been in The Godfather Part 3 and maybe would have saved that movie. Because what's his face? Who was that? What's that? Hamilton. George Hamilton. Just didn't cut it. Just didn't cut it. Robert Duvall, what a big miss that was in The Godfather Part 3. Still wouldn't have made it as great as the first two, but Duvall would have upped the game a lot, I think. All right, John Ellis struck out back in the second. 1 down. And Vita Blue with a 2-1 delivery. And this one line to left. And Joe Rudi plays the short hop. Joe Rudi having trouble getting to the ball. They're going to score that one a hit for John Ellis. All right, so the Yankees with 2 in here in the bottom of the 4th inning, threatening for more with 1 down, and Felipe Alou, the number 6 hitter, who grounded back to Vita Blue his last time up. 6-game hitting streak for Felipe, looking to keep that one going. 1-2 pitch, fly ball left field. Joe Rudi back on it, makes the grab. Ellis tags at second, and he's going to make third. So 2 down, potential third New York Yankee run just 90 feet away for Danny Cater, who was nothing for one. Third baseman flied out to left center his last time up. Duncan sets up. Vita Blue from the stretch. 1-1 pitch back to Vita Blue onto Mike Epstein for the 1-3 putout. That does it for New York here in the bottom of the 4th inning. But 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors. And we go to the top of the 5th inning at Yankee Stadium. The Yankees lead the Athletics 2-0. The Great Santini, a great movie no one talks about. Great one. Yeah. I mean, has Robert Duvall ever done, right? He's just one of those actors that even if the script is subpar, Robert Duvall just was, oh my God. Fantastic, fantastic actor. And was very good at playing those kind of sometimes morally ambiguous roles, and he could, of course, be a villain, and he could be, but just the great actors could do that. You could never typecast Robert Duvall. Here's another. He makes a cameo appearance. I don't know if you guys know this, but a riveting performance for the 5 or so minutes that he's in. If you guys have ever seen the movie Sling Blade, Robert Duvall is in that movie, and it's about a 5 to 10 minute thing that Duvall is on there. And Sling Blade's a great movie anyhow. Billy Bob Thornton, just amazing in that one. But check out Sling Blade. All right, Rick Monday is nothing for one. He flew out his last time up. All right, Steve Klein ready to rock and roll. 2-0 pitch. Soft liner to first, and Ellis picks it. They're calling it a great play, so okay. All right, 1 away now, and here is Dave Duncan, flew out to left back in the 2nd inning. Klein brings it, 1-2 pitch, grounded to Danny Cater, who ranges to his left, grabs and fires on to Ellis for the 5-3 putout. 2 away now. Dick Green, nothing for one. He popped out to Gene Michael last time up. Klein brings the 2-2 pitch, and routine fly ball out to center field. Bobby Mercer has it measured. And that does it for the Oakland Athletics. No runs, no hits, no errors. Bottom of the 5th, Yankees lead The Athletics 2-0. Gene Michael, Steve Kline, and Horace Clarke due up for New York. Grounder to third for Gene Michael, back in the third. Blue deals 2-2 pitch. And this one in at the belt. Fastball for strike 3 batter. Steve Kline, nothing for one. Sorry about the baseball cards popping off all over the place. Blue deals 0-2 pitch. Bounding ball to Sal Bando. He sets and fires a BB onto Mike Epstein. Score that one 5-3 and 2 away for Vida Blue. Vida Blue singled back in the third, so, and, I'm sorry, not Vida Blue, Horace Clarke. I was looking at this. Jeez. 2 for 2 for Horace Clarke. 0-2 pitch up the middle. Horace Clarke 3 for 3. Horace Clarke looking to be a bit of a catalyst here to get more on the board here for these New York Yankees. Thurman Munson, nothing for 2. Yankee faithful looking for the captain to do something here. 2-2 pitch. Fly ball deep to left field. Rick Monday runs back and makes the over-the-shoulder grab. It runs, 1 hit, no errors. We've done 5 here at Yankee Stadium. Still 2-0 New York over Oakland. Vida Blue, Bert Campaneris, Joe Rudi due up. Blue struck out back in the third. 2-0 your score right now. Steve Kline deals 0-2 pitch. And that one's just going to be a little room service bounce to Horace Clarke on to Ellis for out number 1. Bert Campaneris, nothing for 2. He is struck out and grounded out. So Louisville Jerky, very happy to bring you this game tonight. 0-2 pitch. This one lofted to left. Roy White ranging toward the foul line makes the grab for out number 2. Joe Rudi, nothing in 2 attempts. He's grounded out to Steve Kline last time up. Kline, 0-2 pitch. Tapper back to Steve Kline, on to Ellis for the 1-3 putout. Oakland goes quietly again. And we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, and the Yankees lead the A's 2-0. Kline working on a 2-hit shutout right now. Vida Blue touched up for 2 runs, has scattered 6 hits. All right, Roy White 1 for 2. Singled his last time up. 1-1 pitch, lined right to Dick Green, who leaps and spears it out of the air. All right, 1 down. Here's Bobby Mercer. 2-run shot back in the 4th, giving the Yankees the 2 runs they have. Blue deals 1-0 pitch. This one, grounder back to Vida Blue off the bump to his left, and on to Mike Epstein for out number 2. John Ellis here now. John Ellis is 1 for 2. Vida Blue looking for a 1-2-3 inning. Full count, does not get it, so walks Ellis. So Ellis aboard, fastball just missing. And John Ellis, no steals. He ain't going anywhere. Didn't go anywhere in the real 1971 either. Felipe Alou is nothing for 2. John, how's that game going in season ticket? Hopefully my Bucks are off to a great start there. Here's the pitch. And what do we got here? So this one, a wild pitch on Vida Blue. Ellis will move into scoring position. Alou back in the box. And here's the pitch. Line drive, base hit right field. Felipe Alou with an RBI single as Mike Ellis will come in to score. Ugh. John Ellis. I'm sorry, guys. I'm all over the damn place tonight. Danny Cater, nothing for 2. Oh, you're not starting until tomorrow. Okay. All right. All right, here's Danny Cater. Throw down. Felipe Alou is off to the races, and he is gunned down by Dave Duncan. But the New York Yankees add another run on 1 hit, no errors. We go to the top of the 7th inning. New York 3, Oakland nothing. Reggie Jackson, 2 for 2, leading it off here. Steve Kline deals 1-2 pitch. Reggie swinging a miss on a fastball. And Kline picking up the strikeout, his 3rd of the contest. Mike Epstein is nothing for 2, grounded to first last time up. Kline deals 0-2 pitch. Routine fly ball to right. Felipe Alou has it in his sights and in his glove. 2 up, 2 down here for Oakland. Sal Bando, nothing for 2. This big bat has not been able to get it out of the infield in this game. So you just set the cards in the lineups. All right. 0-1 pitch. Mercer back at the track, makes the grab. 7th inning stretch time here at Yankee Stadium, 3-0 in favor of the Yankees in this battle of American League Division leaders. All right, welcome back. Oakland's going to be keeping a bit of a leash here on Vita Blue because in the 8th, he would be due up 4th in the order. So looking strong right now, but maybe going to the pen here soon. Danny Cater, nothing for 2, be followed by Gene Michael and then Steve Klein. Danny Cater grounded back to Vita Blue last time up. Blue winds and deals and 0-2 pitch. Epstein, wow, what a perfect bounce that took for him. And that's a 3 unassisted. 1 away, Gene Michael, nothing for 2. He is grounded out and struck. Vita Blue 1-0 delivery. And Campaneris routine 6-3. So Vita Blue looking for a possible yawner here. He's up to 100 pitches. So reaching that fatigue point here. Pitching to his opposite number. Grounder last time for Klein and a strikeout there on a changeup. All right, we head to the top of the 8th inning. Game moving along very, very, very quickly, actually. We're just 43 minutes in. Rick Monday is nothing for 2. Monday, Duncan and Green, if anybody gets on, will be going to the bench for Vita Blue. Let's see who we have hanging out there. Just for giggles, man. All right. Back to it. 0-2 pitch. Monday sends this out to right field. Felipe Alou back and has it short of the track. 1 away. Dave Duncan now grabs a stick of ash from the old barrel, settles in the box. He is flown out and grounded out. Klein deals home, and on a 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss on a fastball. Steve Klein now with his 4th K of the game. Crusader, welcome in, man. He says Billy Martin used to ruin to shreds his starting pitchers when he managed the Oakland A's. No surprise there. How you doing, Crusader? Good to see you, man. John says in the real life game, Tony Cloninger pitched 13 innings on opening day and ruined his arm forever. Man, letting somebody go 13 innings on opening day, that's a bit harsh. That's harsh. I mean, damn, you got lots of games to go. So, all right, Dick Green bats with 2 down here. He is nothing for 2. Flew out to shallow center as last time up. Steve Klein brings the 0-2 pitch, and this one, ground ball, base hit into right field. Horace Clarke unable to get to the ball. Good velocity and spin on that guy. Vita Blue now, nothing for 2, and Vita's day is done. All right, what do we got here? We got to see if Tommy Davis can do something here. So Tommy Davis is going to come in to pinch hit. Tommy Davis on the year, a 313 average. 5 RBI for him. 2 down, runner on. Tommy Davis with only 3 home runs in 1971, but just got to get Tommy on. And here we go. 0-2 pitch, and that ain't happening. So Steve Klein picks up the K as this one changeup comes in at the knees. We're going to let the computer. This is one of the things that you can do even when you manage the game. All you have to do is hit this, and the computer is going to put in the relief pitcher, which is what we're going to do. Horace Clarke, perfect 3 for 3 as we begin the bottom of the 8th inning and the top of the order for the Yankees. Clark, Munson, and White. And it is Roland in there to pitch, 0-1 pitch. And Bando, close play over there, but they do get Horace Clarke. So first time he's not on base today. Thurman Munson, nothing for three. Jim Rollins' numbers look like this: a 4.30 earned run average, no decisions, 14 and two-thirds innings worked. Captain, nothing for three. Roland brings it at 3-1 pitch. Jim Roland loses him. So Thurman Munson on base for the first time today. Brings up Roy White, who is 1 for 3. Roland brings it home. Back-to-back walks, and I think the computer manager has made a bad decision right here. Yankees burned up Klein's arm, says D. Scott Howard, in 1972. Pitching with 3 J's rest too often. Some say it led to the modern pitch count. That's an interesting bit of trivia, as far as that maybe being the serving as the protogenesis, if nothing else, of the pitch count. Guys, I'm not liking the way Jim Rollins looking out here. Let's go to our pen. What do we got? What do we got? This is not Raleigh Fingers territory here at all. Let's try Daryl Knowles. Just get him in here. Just get him in here. We'll worry about the other things later. So Jim Roland gets 1 out and then 2 on. So 2 walks. No good. No good. Bobby Mercer is 1 for 3. 2-run homer back in the fourth, giving the Yankees the lead that thus far they've never looked back. Knowles brings a 3-1 pitch, and Knowles loses Mercer, so falling apart for Oakland all over the place. Here's John Ellis. John Ellis, 1 for 2. Knowles needs to bear down from the stretch. 0-2 pitch. That's more like it, kiddo. Swing and a miss on a fastball. 2 down. Felipe Alou is 1 for 3. Single to right last time up. Knowles could breathe a little bit easier, but here's the pitch. And this one is going to be a mess. All the way in the corner in Yankee Stadium. Thurman Munson will score. Roy White will score. And Bobby Mercer will score. And this game has just gone out of reach. We're going to just leave Knowles in there at this point. Try to get that third out. And we got Ron Hansen now batting. So Ron Hansen somehow sneaking into this game when I didn't see it. Ron Hansen hitting .361 with 6 runs batted in. Knowles steals and liner right back to Daryl Knowles. So 1 batter too late. The Yankees 3 runs, 1 hit, no errors. Top of the 9th. Oakland, to say they have a row to hoe is that's an understatement. Top of the order, Bert Campaneris, Joe Rudi, and Reggie Jackson. Neither team, no matter the loss or the win, these guys are far enough ahead. Although that's not true. The Yankees have the Tigers breathing down their necks. So this is an important game for the New York Yankees. 2-2 pitch, Campaneris looks at one in the outside corner. Beautiful change up there. So Steve Klein with a 3-hitter and a 6-run lead. What more could you ask for? Joe Rudi is nothing for 3. Klein deals. 2-2 pitch. Klein off the bump to his right. And barehands that soft little grounder on to Ellis for out number 2. Down to Reggie Jackson. 0-1 pitch. And base hit right field. Reggie Jackson trying to keep hope alive as we give a little more love to Jesse Jackson, who once again, memory eternal to the great Jesse Jackson. Mike Epstein is nothing for 3. It's just really not worth it. It's really, really not worth it. We're just going to go ahead and let Epstein bat. Munson out to go over the signs with Klein. 1-1 pitch. Epstein sends this out to center field. Deep, but not deep enough. Bobby Mercer runs it down. And Steve Klein, hell of a job today for the New York Yankees. Let's look at our game recap here. The New York Yankees, with the win, improved to 34-14. The Oakland A's will fall to 34-18. For the New York Yankees, 6 runs, 8 hits, no errors. The Oakland Athletics, no runs, 4 hits, and no errors. Vita Blue gets his first loss of the season. He's now 12-1. And Steve Klein is now 7-2. For the Oakland A's, the only highlight really is Reggie Jackson went 3 for 4 with a double. For the New York Yankees, Horace Clarke went 3 for 4. Bobby Mercer went 1 for 3 with a home run and 2 runs batted in. Steve Klein's going to be obviously your MVP with a 4-hit complete game shutout. Boy, when did we ever hear of those? No triples in this game. 1 home run, of course, that hit by Bobby Mercer. Pitching, Vita Blue, 7 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs, all earned. Gave up a home run, a walk, struck out 3. So his ERA goes up to 1.83 as he suffers his first loss of the season. Jim Rowland, so a third of an inning, and walked 2 batters, and we hooked him. Daryl Knowles worked 2 thirds of an inning, gave up an earned run, walked 1, struck out 1. Steve Klein, the big story, 9 innings pitched, and look at that, and 6 strikeouts to boot. So fun times at the old Ball Orchard. Steve Klein, indeed, the MVP as he deserves it. Let's look at where we are. We're going to play ahead a week then. All right. I want to make sure we're not hitting any marquee matchups here before we do this. No, not really. Not really. So we're going to play to the 23rd of June. Here we go. Because I love watching this. I'm looking for San Francisco to start to do something. All right. Moving along. Pittsburgh really not feeling any heat. Houston starting to feel some heat. Detroit and Yankees in a cat fight right now. As you can see there, 36-17 right now. We go into June 7th. Wow. Crazy. San Francisco now 3 games below, 4 games below 500. San Francisco should be atop the NL West, but not happening. Houston holding on to a 2-game lead right now as we fly through here. So while we're doing this, D. Scott Howard said Steve Klein could pitch. Well, we saw it tonight. How about it? All right, we are on our way. So Oakland, a little bit of breathing room, but the Yankees and Detroit, they are just fighting it out here. Detroit now with a 3-game lead over the Yanks. Baltimore, 4.5 out. Detroit opening it up a little bit here as we are on June 20th. We'll look at some league leaders and everything. And now that the stats are really going to start meaning something here as we get near the end of the first half of 1971. Got to keep up with Hot Wheels, man. He's ready to move into the legacy mode, and I will be. All right, we've played everything up to Wednesday, June 23rd, 1971. And let's look at the standings in the National League West. The Houston Astros with a 2. So nobody with a double-digit lead in the National League West, but San Francisco still 3 games below 500, 7.5 out. But the Atlanta Braves 2.5 back. Cincinnati Reds are and the Cincinnati Reds at 5.5 back. San Diego game below 500, but it's 6.5 out. And San Francisco hanging. They're all hanging in there. I think the Dodgers are about spent though. So Pittsburgh now with the second best record in baseball, 44-27. They are 4.5 up in New York Mets. The New York Mets have gained some ground. The Cubs back there at 8.5 games back. Ken's Phillies 12.5 out. In the West, the Oakland Athletics 6.5 up on the White Sox. So Oakland has been maintaining that first place in the American League West for pretty much the entire season. The Detroit Tigers now 4 games And Baltimore creeping up now. They are 4 games back of the Tigers, and the Yankees are 5.5 out. So this has been fun. Let's look at what we have coming up on June 24th. Do we have anybody and any two teams meeting in contention? And if not, at least do we have decent pitching matchups? We really don't. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to bump it. Let's go to the end of June. Let's just do play June. Boom. Having a pretty good night, JT. It's good to see you, my friend. There's like 3 nights in a row where JT Dutch is here. This is awesome. Could usually only catch JT during the day, but now he's taking a little bit of a sabbatical, so able to hang out with us, man. Always great to have you, JT. San Francisco finally moving up a little bit, but they're at Houston and Atlanta now dogfight. How's it going there of the American League East? Baltimore right now 3.5 back. Pittsburgh with a 4-game lead on the New York Mets. Oakland is just not going to be giving up first place in the American League West, pulling away now 8.5 to 9 games away. We have finished June in 1971. So look at the National League West, the Astros and the Braves, just a half game separate them. LA's moved up to 500, though, 6 games back. San Francisco woefully underperforming, man. In the National League East, the Pirates 3 up on the Mets. Chicago Cubs fading. And the American League West, I really think we could almost call this for Oakland now. They've just maintained. Chicago's gotten no closer, I think, than 8 games to the A's. And in the American League East, it now looks like the Detroit Tigers, Yankees, and Baltimore, each at 4 games back. So it's second and third, but just by mere percentage points. Crazy, crazy stuff. Dodgers are going on a run, says JT. That's good to see. Yeah. What I'm not, because again, I'm not that I want a carbon copy or anything, but we're going to look at maybe a little bit of what's happening with San Francisco. They're just not. They shouldn't be here right now. San Diego, so you got this 3-team tie down here, and San Diego at least definitely overperforming. This looks pretty good here. Everything else looks pretty good. The National League West looks a little bit squirrely to me right now, though. All right, let's jump out. Let's look at some leaders, and then I guess we'll be done. I don't want to kill you guys with too much bullshit. Yeah. All right. Let's just go to start with the National League. And oops, I didn't want to do it that way. All right. Let's look at, of course, not real stats because we don't care about the real stats. Let's go to replay stats. Boom. There we go. I really wish this was sortable, but it's not. You got to do it this way. But that's okay. All right, in the National League, Hank Aaron, we're not going to go over every category, but Hank Aaron leading in home runs with 25, Willie Stargell behind him, along with Willie Montanez, each with 22 home runs. Triples, Don Money and Richie Hebner, each with 9. Cesar Cedeno with 25 doubles, Al Oliver behind him with 24. Run scored, that's going to be Lou Brock with 62. Willie Mays has walked 63 times. Willie Stargell, no surprise, leading the National League in strikeouts with 82. Joe Torre leading in RBI with 68. Ralph Garr with 114 hits. Joe Torre just behind him at 113. Joe Torre, of course, a great year for him in 1971. Total bases, I just, that stat, whatever. Lou Brock, 37 stolen bases. Joe Morgan, with the Houston Astros at this time, of course, way behind him at 23. Dick Allen with a 417 on-base percentage. Stargell just behind him at 415. And Joe Torre in third place. Slugging percentage, it's Hank Aaron at 642, but Willie Stargell with a 636. Willie Montanez making a good showing here. Let's look at some batting plus, because we haven't looked at batting plus statistics too much, have we? So those are always fun. We're not going to do them all, though. Hank Aaron has been intentionally walked 12 times in this game. Joe Torre, 10. And I'm sorry, in this experiment, whatever. Let me see. Hank Aaron with 6 sack flies. Average versus lefties. It's Glenn Becker to the Chicago Cubs right now hitting 455. Average versus righty is Matty Alou with 366. And then let me see what else. Willie Stargell with a 1.052 OPS. Hank Aaron behind him at 1.038. Runs created for 27 outs. Willie Stargell at 9.3. Hank Aaron at 8.5. Ron Hunt hit by the most pitches in the National League by far, 20 times. He must be one hell of. Yeah, got to get me a photo of Joe Torre. This is his MVP. I'm surprised I don't have a picture of him. I'll have to look on the rosters. All right, so that's cool. Let's look at the American League. No, let's look at National League pitching. I'm sorry. Okay. So Bob Miller is, San Diego and then Pittsburgh, but 42. Just make sure I'm still looking at replay stats, by the way. I am. 42 games. Claude Osteen has been a workhorse, 153 and 1/3 innings worked for the Dodgers. Fergie Jenkins leading the National League with 11 complete games. Rick Wise and Doc Ellis. So the Commonwealth doing it up with wins right now. Each of those hurlers with 11 wins. Oh, my God. So this poor fellow right here, Bill Hands, come on, dude. What are you doing here? He is 6-11, 6-11, so leading the league in losses. Fred Gladding leading in saves with 13. Dave Giusti just behind him at 12. Doc Ellis with 4 shutouts. Don Sutton, there you go. JT Don Sutton with 3 shutouts. Of course, that's a pretty big field there. So, but a little bit of Dodger love there. Fergie Jenkins leading right now with 138 strikeouts. Seaver with 136. Let me see. Claude Osteen's given up 19 home runs. Ouch. Opponents average. So it's Don Wilson here. Don Wilson doing all right. So just hitting 190 against him. And then Bill Hands has given up 149 hits. So sometimes when you're in the leader in certain categories, you just don't want to be leading. Let's look at American League batting right now, too. Home runs, Stormin Norman Cash now has taken over the lead. He has 20. Sal Bando with 19. Reggie Jackson with 18. Bill Melton and the killer, Harmon Killebrew, each with 16 round trippers. Roy White and Felipe Alou doing the triples, each with 6. Tony C with 24 doubles. Runs scored, Reggie Jackson and Horace Clarke, each with 54. Harmon Killebrew leading in walks. Reggie Jackson has struck out 84 times. George Scott a distant second at 68. RBI, it's Bill Melton with 67. Cesar Tovar with 99 hits, and teammate Tony Oliva just 1 hit behind him. Amos Otis in the American League leading in steals with 38. Freddie Patek just behind him with 28. Merv Rettenmund has a 447 on base percentage to lead the American League. And Stormin Norman Cash, look at that slugging percentage, 615. American League pitching now. And let's just go to wins. Vita Blue with 16. Bosman, it's the Senators, so yeah. We'll just go on. We'll go on right there. Mel Stottlemyre with 5 shutouts. Mickey Lulich has fanned 150. Sam McDowell has given out 72 free passes to the theater. Jim Perry has given up 28 home runs. Denny McLain just behind him at 23. So there you go. Just a little bit of the leaders and what's going on. If the MVP were to happen today in this season in the American League, Bobby Mercer would win the American League MVP. Vita Blue would get the American League Cy Young Award. And who would that be in the National League? This is a new feature, by the way, in Action PC Baseball as well. Willie Stargell would win the MVP. Right now, Joe Torre placing 3rd in that race. And Don Wilson would win the Cy Young. So I really, really like that they've kind of added this, and you can make awards customizable, as you can see here. So another great addition by Action PC Baseball is that you can create sort of your own criteria, custom leaderboards and stuff like that. So just another reason to get into this superb game. I do know a lot of people. We still have this ongoing, and it's a good discussion, good debate, if you will. Open engine, open engine, closed engine, and I don't know. I think they're both great. I've obviously played a lot more closed engine, but I don't really. Again, Mick mentioned in the comments that he felt that for cross era play, and I think it is a valid point that you want to be able to see, kind of see a little bit more. And, for Mick, kind of the computer maybe sort of hiding that or some of the things that he would want to see. So I get that. I would also say, though, for games as sophisticated as Action PC Baseball and Out of the Park Baseball, that there might be some ways to be able to do that, to see some of the reports that you want to see. Yeah. Let me see. Where'd my mouse go? Not going to be on much longer, guys. Just want to hang out here. So this is always fun to look at team stats. So this is for the we're just going to do this for the entire majors. So who's leading at home runs? It's the Detroit Tigers with 105 home runs as a team. Who's at the bottom? The Kansas City Royals. Yeah. What else should we look at? Who's picking up the hits right now? The Pittsburgh Pirates with 777 hits. Doubles, that's going to be the Boston Red Sox, 142. Triples, the greatest hit in the game of baseball. New York Yankees at 29. My Buccos just with 28, so pretty nice there. RBI at Pittsburgh Pirates with 400. Walks, so San Francisco getting the most walks. Who's striking out a lot here? The San Francisco Giants. So the offense kind of underperforming here. Ralph Garr, the road runner up there. Yeah, absolutely. Hit batsman. So they're going after the Montreal Expos and the Baltimore Orioles. 26 hit batsmen there. Let's see, who are the speedsters here? It's going to be the Kansas City Royals. We shouldn't be surprised by that. But again, here we go. Whatever's in the water down there in Missouri. Second place, the St. Louis Cardinals. So 72 and 66 respectively. Fun stuff there, fun stuff there, fun stuff there. So that's just batting, of course. And let's go ahead and exit that. Team stats. You can look at and any of these games up here, by the way, you can look at. So you can pick and just look at what everybody's doing right now. I love the fact too. Another nice thing, you can look at game logs for players and see what they've done. So for a closed engine, while you're maybe not seeing it during, you can still, again, with both this game and Out of the Park Baseball, the customized reports that you can do, pretty insane. Dwayne Marsh would have to tell me, but I believe that Digital Diamond does some pretty good reporting as well, and Diamond Mine Baseball does great reporting. Tigers did lead all baseball in home runs in real life in 1971. So things are playing out right now, right there, pretty well. But boy, those San Francisco Giants just pretty much, you know, kind of disappointing right now. But there you go. I just think I just love the game logs, features and stuff like that in a game like this. So good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. You can see how just look at Roberto Clemente, how he's doing versus teams, stuff like that. So it seems to like the Philadelphia Phillies a lot. I mean, for you know, at this point, maybe not the biggest fan of the Montreal Expos, but again, 1 for 5, 3 for 10, horses for courses. Who knows? So really a lot of statistics you can look at here. And remember, up here, any of these games you can just look at, and just have a blast. So these are all the upcoming games and stuff like that. So good stuff. Here you go. So if you're an action PC player, don't forget that you have, and you can do fielding splits, whatever. There's so much you can do. And then CSV, Paul, this will go out right to CSV. So this could be used in the Baseball HQ app. So that's pretty much it. I don't know if there's anything else you guys really want to see. The deeper reports come up here, though, right? So you can do leaders by date in this game, and I can set this up and see who's leading wherever. The reports in this game are pretty deep. The batter pitchup analysis, of course, works out here. We can do a team versus team chart. What's going on? What is going on? So, I think for anyone know if AstroTurf impacts gameplay in Action PC? That'd be a great question, John. I don't know. I mean, because this game does have park factors, but I don't know if artificial turf is a factor in that or not. You know what? I think I'll ask that on the APC boards. Um, so here's it's not it's just one of the reasons that I'm still more of a uh, you know and that gives you a printable format. What is because digital just does so much of your housekeeping for you. I could just start looking at a glance. So if I'm looking down here at my Pirates, they're 4-2 against the Braves, 3-2 against the Reds. Not so good against the Astros so far, just 1-5. I'm having fun with the Dodgers though. We're 5-1, and so on and so forth. Undefeated when we play the Giants. The Giants just absolutely just underperforming. I'm just to almost egregious levels, I would say. Saber Games and Siblog, there's a comparison of Diamond Mind, Out of the Park, and Action PC. Yeah, I've got to check that out, and I got to get in touch with Derek. Derek's probably given up on me at this point. He and I were supposed to work together on a project, and it's just been, I'm trying to dig out and get my baseball caught up. And it seems that the more I try to get caught up, the behinder I get. I'll check that out, cuz. Thank you. I'd be curious to see what that how that comparison works in terms of I don't know whether they're talking about accuracy or just what have you. So thank you for that tip. What else can we look at in reports here? So again, I love the standings by date. Really, really fun. You can do box score searches in this game. So you can pick your criteria and just go for it, right? And just crazy, just crazy. So the reason I'm doing all this and talking about spending some time just on searches before I go out is again for that Mike guy that like keeps the big major encyclopedias. That's a Herculean effort and huge props to him. Um, so Ken, have had I started back with cards and dice, I probably would have been doing what you're doing, right? Kind of. Oh, thank you for that. Let me copy this, guys. Let me show this to you if anybody wants it. There you go. There's the link, and you can also copy it in chat. I'm gonna grab that, cuz, and I'm gonna read that when I go off the air. Thank you. I'm really anxious to, or I'm really curious to see what they have to say. And I have it up on here too. So good. You know, and I'm not even looking at this, but I will say not yet, obviously, because it's more fun right now. It's rude to be reading just by myself and talking to you guys. These are three great baseball games. Thank you, cuz. These are three great baseball games, and I'm going to be interested in the article to see how much, was any tweaking done because that's one thing where these games are just eminently customizable. Um, the quick league report is pretty cool. Let's just do the National League, and I don't know. We could do box scores from 4:30 to 6:40 or 6:30. I'm sorry, and it's going to build a report for us. And there we go. Pretty good stuff. And if you had to do this by hand, good luck. Good luck. So, what can I say? You know, just I love games that give me all kinds of stats and information to pour through. And Bernie Strom would find a way to put this entire league report, and this is an incomplete league report, obviously, I only picked a few things, and probably put it into AI and say, so what's going on? And it'd be interesting to see what it would spit out. Can you generate reports or box scores in HTML for a website out of curiosity? So what this does is it will export in a text format. Out of the Park Baseball will do it as an HTML, but I don't think this does HTML. I don't think. I've never tried it, but I don't think so. Let's build this report again with box scores. Probably going to take a little longer. Is it actually doing it? Yep, there we go. Well, it was doing it. And then I sort of rushed it. So let's go. Yep. Did it do it? I don't know if it did it or not. I think it's still trying to do it, and I'm rushing the poor thing. Let's just cancel it. So I do know that, and another one that will do things like that was Pure Sim Baseball, which I haven't reinstalled yet. So, um, but cousin, thank you. I will bring this up for you guys to see it just for a little bit. We have a few minutes here. It's not even 11 o'clock yet. All right. So, who wrote this? Orbups. Okay. This is my second statistical accuracy comparison. The first one did not include action. Use the 2016 as played season to compare the statistical accuracy of Diamond Mind, Out of the Park Baseball, and Action PC. For all of them, he ran the sim 5 times for team batting. It looks like the accuracy of Diamond Mind and Out of the Park were very close, with Action slightly below and Out of the Park Baseball. So a lot of people dump on Out of the Park Baseball, and Out of the Park Baseball has a little function that everybody seems to miss, that it will show your season replay and track it along the actual one. And Out of the Park is a pretty damn accurate game. It really, really is. So for pitching, he says he left BABIP blank for Action PC because that stat isn't readily available without some additional calculations. Diamond Mine was slightly better than Out of the Park, with error off by 7.1%. So we can see the comparisons here right now. For runs scored, Diamond Mine was closest to actual runs scored, with Out of the Park and Action PC trailing behind. For division standings, American League West gave the biggest discrepancy, with all three vendors showing on average Houston winning the division. Diamond Mine matched the division winner 5 of 6 races. Out of the Park and Action PC matched the division winner in 4 of 6 races. So I mean, all 3 of these games are excellent games. Just a ball game and some. Now we're cousin Ken showing me this. Gave me the link to a saber comparison of Diamond Mind Action PC and Out of the Park Baseball. And I know I'm going through these really, really, really quickly, guys. So, it's I put the link up there as Ken did for me. It's there for you as well. I would like to do something like this, but in a season with which I'm a bit more familiar. But there's really there's no glaring disparities between like all right. So funny, yeah. Action PC is slow running a season. Now, what really would have been fun is for him to add in Baseball for Windows for the mix. Even for this, Baseball for Windows can rip through a season, and I think it's faster than Out of the Park Baseball. I really, really do. I've never seen a game go through a season as fast as Baseball for Windows. It rips. Yeah, exactly, John. I got to comment that because it's getting to be like Well, it's just not very accurate. Yeah, it is. I've played season replays, and again, next time I play out of the park baseball, if I remember, I'm going to show everybody that tracker. It's really cool, and it's getting better, and it's getting better. But again, I mean, I know I'm going through these numbers really quickly, but you don't see any, maybe a few anomalies here and there. So if we look for the National League West, they had 75 row wins. Diamond Mine gave them 86. Out of the Park was 73, and Action PC was 61. So Out of the Park just 2 runs off. Now for the NL West here, I'm sorry, this was just for Arizona. If we look at the San Francisco Giants, they won 87 in 2016, 90 in Diamond Mine, 95. So 8 more games in Out of the Park baseball, and then Action PC just 4 below. Um, so my takeaway from this, really, just glancing at this, um, are you going to be, are you going to go, if you were to pick just one of these 3 games, would you go wrong? No, you wouldn't. You really, really wouldn't. Unfortunately, I think that Out of the Park gets a little bit more dumped on than Diamond Mind and Action PC, and I think that's really unfair. Maybe it's because it's the same thing with the Strat Max and Apago. Strat Max looks really glitzy. And Out of the Park is the glitzy looking game of the 3. Diamond Mine Baseball is the most utilitarian. I don't know if that sort of could inform people's choices without doing. I'd love to see whoever this is. Um, I'd love to see have him do. And see he's using Out of the Park 25. 26 was a vast improvement statistically. So and 27, the things they're adding in 27 are ridiculous now. But this is a great article. I think it's really, really useful. Here's a neat one. So accuracy comparison between Diamond Mine and Out of the Park. Let's look at this one. This was written in 2026, and it looks like he's still using Out of the Park 25. Blah blah blah. He says, interesting, when looking at each team's win-loss record, calculated the delta between Diamond Mine actual wins and Out of the Park actual wins. The overall delta wins for Diamond Mine was 0, while Out of the Park was within 3 wins. This delta of 3 looks like it was due to rainouts in the Out of the Park games. When looking at this delta, it seems to imply, as an example, that the 2023 Orioles in real life perform much better than the stats would indicate, while the 2023 Royals in real life perform much worse than the stats would indicate. So again, there's not this wide gulf, which is good. I'm really, really glad to see this. Really, really, really glad to see this. Just how close, even these 2 are, because we know the Diamond Mine is used by the Elias Sports Bureau. Ken, I'm going to keep this minimized. I'm going to drag it to my desktop so I can look at those 2 more in depth. Thank you. They are. I've seen them now. Out of the Park baseball does sort of require you to you got to get your hands a little bit more dirty and with it, and I think that gets people scared. But even without that, I think it does a pretty good job. Just turn off rainouts and Out of the Park, and that issue solved. Yeah. It would be fun for him to add in Digital Diamond Baseball, but Digital Diamond Baseball's own engine, which I think is pretty good actually. Um, I know just about all you guys are using it just as a board game companion, but it's a good baseball engine. And again, we can thank Clinton Parks for the fact that we have defensive ratings in that game. I've talked about that a number of times, but I don't know, man. And the other one is Baseball for Windows. I think its own worst enemy, whereas so Out of the Park is glitzy, pretty, all that kind of stuff. It's sort of MLB the Show, but for stat heads. And Baseball for Windows, I think for some gamers they just think, oh, well, the novelty is the Ernie Harwell announcer, but they're forgetting it's APA. It's the APA engine. So of course it's going to be It's going to be good. You can't be around. You can have a game around 74 years, 75 years, and not do it right. So pretty good stuff, cuz. Thank you. What would be difficult? So, and we know this is how would you run? And again, now he ran each just 5 times. So does that? I mean, that gives you a good kind of beginning. But if you had the time, and who really does, you'd almost want to run these sims at least 200 to 300 times each one, right? But my question to the longtime cards and dice guys is how, like Strat talks, and they do play really well, but I'm wondering how you could do a comparison, say with Status Pro Baseball, APA, Strat, and let's say Ballpark, or Payoff Pitch or whatever. How do you do that? Because to run even an entire season 5 times, and let's just take just even Strat and APA, that's a lot of rolling dice. And that's just right, one go through, and then if you're going to go through 5 go throughs, I'm not questioning the accuracy of cards and dice baseball, but I'm wondering if they, of course, Strat, they were smart to keep their formula a secret, but wouldn't it be fun? I guess you could with Strat and APA Go, couldn't you? You could run the same season multiple times in those games, because those are the cards and dice games just on the web pretty much. So that would be one way to look at that accuracy. That would kind of be fun to see a study done of cards and dice. I don't know if there has been one, but I think it'd be fun. But that being said, both APA and Strat doing, whatever formulas, they're using and things like that. I know that APA's is out there because there's a billion APA card generators out there. But for Strat, whatever it is they do, both of these games, people wouldn't have been buying them for 65 and 75 years if they weren't doing the job. That's for sure. That said, this Ballpark baseball, I was talking about season ticket baseball before. Man, oh man, thank you, cousin Ken. I think Ballpark baseball is going to be the one, baby, for me. I mean, literally, like getting some dice, figuring out how to work around the real estate here. So, and maybe doing some of that even online, like rolling the dice and stuff like that. I'm not going to buy a dice tower though. I'm just going to roll the damn dice. But should be. I promise I won't cheat. I promise I won't cheat. But you know what? At the end of the day, David Baseball Demos, what does he say? Play what you love. Play what you love. And that is what we do. And I love these games. I do. I haven't heard anything, no peep out of Clay Dreslov if he is going to trot out another baseball mogul or not. I really wish. He probably doesn't have time to overhaul the game. Maybe he doesn't have the interest to overhaul the game. But I usually hear something from him by now. We all do usually. Okay, what's going on with baseball mogul, whatever. I buy it every year, and will continue. Samuel Smith giving at least me some fantastic news. He's going to be testing out the new Dombrov baseball. Looking forward to that, and I'm going to have a chance to do a beta test on Payoff Pitch, which I'm really excited about, and I have Avonroot's permission to actually show it on the channel. So we've been seeing alphas, so I'm signed up, and then just be a few weeks. I'll keep you guys posted. Out of the Park 27 continues, and I really like what Out of the Park 27 is doing this year. Kurt Berglund was chatting up baseball towers uh, a few days back, says the professor, and he showed that one had to be the quietest tower I'd ever seen. Showed one that had to be the quietest tower I'd ever seen before. Yeah, I don't know. There's clackety clack, and it's bad enough with 2 cats. So the reason I'm kind of staying away from dice towers is it becomes a cat toy. It's already challenging enough when I'm working on coin magic or what have you. So there's a coin effect that I do where you're showing 3 Chinese coins, they're threaded under a ribbon, and and the ends are always in view. No trick coins, no trick ribbon or anything like that. But you're plucking them off visibly. It's a very, very beautiful effect. But when I'm working on that, and the cats see the ends of this ribbon and these three metallic things clinking around making noise, it's a disaster. So I think a dice tower is going to be even crazier. So there is no clackety clack. Okay, well, so if you're looking for Out of the Park to be, this major graphic overhaul, you're not going to be impressed. But what's going on, I think, under the hood is really cool. There are some things that, as far as for player attributes, there's a really nice addition in there. You guys have gotten to see enough of the trailers to see that the modern scoreboard display is going to look different. I think there's a lot more in-game information now that's accessible, and it's definitely very smooth. It's very, very smooth. This edition gets better and better every year, as it should. So Clinton uses Rock and Roll Dice, pretty decent program. I mean, if push comes to shove, I'll just use I'll create the dice in Pocket Pennant Run, and play ballpark, and then just input the results in Pocket Pennant Run. So, but I do miss rolling the dice. I really, really do. So I'm kind of looking through my magic equipment, saying, "Geez, is there something here I can kind of kludge together to roll up some baseball dice?" But we'll see. We'll see. Next time I do a baseball game, we're going to return to the 1904 and 1994 stuff, and go from there. Go from there. There's your whole database, and you can do all your sorting and stuff in here. Anyhow, I get lost in these things. I get geeked out. All right, guys. I guess that's it. We haven't done Diamond Mind on this channel in a long time. Still waiting for when Cousin Ken gives me the go ahead to try our Stratomatic Strat Max test of 19th century baseball. John asking Clinton if he has a link to the Quiet Tower. He says the one he has now wakes up the whole house. That's why I've been reticent to get one. They're just, you know, I love my cats, but man, when I'm playing baseball, I don't want them jumping all over me. So, and a cat would do what a cat will do. So, I guess that's about all. There seems to be a lot of stuff now in the park that's like the Baseball Savant site. Yep. That a lot of that has been added in. There's a lot more added in now, and a lot of those stuff is going to be very workable with Player Development Lab and other modules. So, when is the next Clinton Parks Memorial game? If you're that would be the 1904. Is it you talking about the 1904 series? Probably do it tomorrow night. Of course you can, Clinton. You have a wrench. You don't have to ask my permission. The idea of you do have a wrench, right? You have a wrench. Do it. There you go. Boom. You guys, the reason you have wrenches is so that you can do that stuff. You don't have to ask my permission. I trust you. That's part of the thank you. So, okay, on Etsy. So somebody's making those probably by hand or something. That's cool. Silent Night Towers. Let's have a look at it. Let's have a look at it. Why the hell not, man? I'm all about it. Let's look at them for a minute. Boom. And let me move you guys over here for a second so I can bring this up. Such power I have to just move you guys over. Damn. Okay. And let's do here. And let's do here so that way I can keep reading the chat. Okay. JT Dust says he might break down and do a season replay in Out of the Park. Never done it before. All right, so here they are. Mini Quiet Dice Tower. Let's bring one up. Let's look at the picture. Well, so okay, I guess not. There's what it looks like. It's very small. They have an extra ASMR special. That's funny. That's funny. Then you got this little Ginkgo style looking. These are pretty nice looking, aren't they? All right, so look at this. Oh, these are similar items. So we just got to stay on this guy's page. He needs to make his pictures bigger, and he's not. So Silent Night. Come on, man. Crusader, speaking of Etsy, for the Strat fan, somebody regularly sells a fantasy Strat card organizer. Useful when playing a game out. Nice. Okay, using a fantastic Strat card organizer. Gotcha. This guy's got 5 stars, man. So, reviews. I don't know where the price. I guess you'd have to find. Is this his store? What's his store? I don't use Etsy. I'm sorry. So I don't know what these things even cost. But there they are. Oh, he's taking a break right now. Kurt will let him know when he's back on the air. Nice. So this mini tower would be fine. There we go. We got some. You know what? And if these pass the D&D Pathfinder crowd, then you know they're good because those guys are super super picky. So Marcel, one craft at a time. So handmade, guys. Cool, 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 cool. So I don't think Samuel Smith is still in here. I was going to ask him a question. Because I didn't receive anything from Richard Dombrov, so I guess he's keeping things kind of under wraps right now about the new game. Yeah, so nothing. Okay, well that's all right. So Kurt is your fall classic mentor, even though he knows you don't use the fast action cards. So do you not like fast action cards, Clinton, and for that, or is it just that game, or like I like fast action cards a lot, actually. Always have. I think that's what makes Status Pro my favorite game. Maybe because I'm more in tuned with cards. I don't know. Just curious. I don't think I ever asked you if that's just a preference, if it's, you know. I'm really hoping that Digital Diamond Baseball is going to do a real good implementation of Status Pro. So JT, you're not a fan of fast action cards. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. I guess perhaps they feel a little bit less visceral than rolling up the dice. Okay. Clinton says only in Status Pro does he enjoy fast action cards. Okay. And I do like the way Digital Diamond like generates them, so you can actually have infinite cards and stuff like that. So that's kind of neat. I miss that game. Used to have a blast playing Status Pro baseball. So, but that game, that board game, that was a pretty big footprint. So it'll be nice to play it on Digital Diamond Baseball. I guess that's coming out in April. So don't forget. So Digital Diamond Baseball, new Dombrov payoff pitch, and Out of the Park Baseball, all coming out around the beginning. Out of the Park coming out earlier than all of them. Out of the Park slated for a March 13th release. Early access March 10th. So good, good, good. Professor wins the report for the best after, or wins the award for the best after game reports. He does just a great, great job. JT says he actually doesn't mind the Digital Diamond game engine. It seems fine enough to me. I think it's really good. Um, it just everybody uses it as a board game companion, um, and I think it's really good. The actual just the baseball game itself. Frankly, I don't think I would play. I would never use that game as a board game assistant with Action PC Baseball and Pocket Pennant Run, I think, doing it uh, very well. Unless it's going to be a requirement. But no, it won't be a requirement because the game generates Status Pro cards, and I guess we'll have actual Status Pro cards or whatever, however that all works out. And you can actually print Status Pro cards and play Status Pro Baseball, the board game. So pretty nice. Clinton Park says still has the old-fashioned way, double-sided, along with a ton of seasons. I love those double-sided cards, double-sided, and one column is upside down, the others. So when you think of the math, you will never, ever, ever, ever have the same game twice, which is really cool. And that number like dwarfs the possible number of permutations in a deck of cards. So and that is just nuts. So Clinton, I wanted to ask you while you're here, my friend, is the NPNG Plus? I heard that there were some changes coming. The site was going. Is that game still available? I haven't looked. I just know that there was going to be a change, and some people were afraid that National Pastime Next Generation Plus was going to disappear. What? I mean, I could go look for it. I was just wondering. Let's go look. Let's look. NPNG Plus. And let's just put baseball because it has no idea what I'm talking about. National Pastime Next Generation Plus. Oh, there. Whoa, yikes. Okay. So, kaboom, huh? Is that it? Is this gone? It's gone. It sucks. Yeah, internet connection's fine. Oh, so new link. New linker. Okay. All right, let's check it out. Let's check it out. Baseball people, baseball family. Let's check it out. There we go. Okay. Updated January 26th of 2026. Okay. All right. Well, that's cool. Oh, wow. Okay, that's pretty interesting. What a major redesign of this site and much more modern as it should be. Cool. Going to drag this on the desktop too. Yep. Thank you, Clinton. I got it. So board readers here. There's all the game parts. Nice. Player cards. Good amount of seasons available here, gentlemen. Board reader. So the board reader, I always like the board reader in this. The game I still miss, Professor, is Valhalla. Unfortunately, I made the terrible discovery. Thank you, Rumperdier. Absolutely. I made the terrible discovery that all my Valhalla stuff is on a computer that it just doesn't run anymore. So, um, oh well. I'm glad this is still around. I was afraid this was going to go away. I'm going to minimize this for a second because I don't want to forget. I'm going to drag these over here and then put them into a folder for shortcuts. Well, not Dombrov. I know Dombrov, so yeah, Clinton. You did, but I didn't back it up. I didn't put it up on Google Drive like an idiot. I don't want to put you to any extra trouble, my friend. It's okay. I did like Valhalla a lot, and I thought, oh yeah, I want to start getting that up on the channel, and couldn't because it's on a dead computer, and I can't resurrect it. I tried. So, but this is good, and we got some nice YouTube videos here on this as well. So this is really cool. This is really cool. I don't want to look at the basketball stuff. So, oh, look at that, man! You got cross season stuff and nice, 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 nice. Console redesign. Shall we look? I think that's 5 years ago. but I don't think. I guess you don't really need to update this too much. So nice. I mean, Clinton, if you know, if you ever feel like you got some free time, but you got your own things to do, man. So I appreciate that, though. Let's check this out for a minute, guys. Don't worry about it, Clinton. I appreciate you, though, buddy. Here, guys. So I have to say that I was playing this before. I don't know. I was playing it early. This is really nice looking. I really like this. The other one was kind of like, what do I do? But I think this is really, really nice. So, so you mean there's been an update since this one too, Clinton? So on the website here, let's get out of here. I want to. What is the newest version of the board reader? We have to. We have to get. No, we don't have to get back. Yes, we do. Let's do this. Can I? Oops, it's not what I wanted to do. Bah, Egypt. Well, actually, I can do that because then we'll just shoot forward again. Downloads, downloads, board reader. So I guess this is the most. Is that the most recent one we're looking at? Okay, so you beta tested it. Okay, okay. Let's go. Oh shit, we can't. Can we go forward, backwards? We have to do it from here, and let's. That's okay. It's fine. Cool. We're back. That's nice. Okay, so they're at version 7. So this is we're looking at ancient history here. Okay. Oh. Um, well, there's the older version of the board reader in National Pastime Next Generation Plus, and yeah, I guess they haven't put anything up new because these are pretty old. Yeah, because this goes down to like version 4. I think I was trying this around maybe here around this area. Ah, there's a sample game, but no use showing the older version. So, but boy, I've missed a lot. I definitely missed a lot. Okay. But 7.06, so if I were to download that, that's probably what there's going to be, right? Clinton, I have another question. I know I'm picking your brain here like a madman. Um, is there? I never knew. I mean, because they give you a lot of seasons to play with. So, but I'm just curious. Can you? I guess you can't create seasons in this, right? They create the seasons, I guess. Oh, you look at ID Gesture condensed cards, pretty cool. Um, so optional fielding and unusual play charts for all of these seasons, park factors for the seasons, lineup sheets. Nice. I like the new look now because before it was just this never ending scrolly thing. And I know when, I guess a few months ago, when people thought this was going to go away, people were downloading everything like madmen. So it is great to see it not going anywhere. Good stuff. Wow. Good stuff. All right, guys. Um, Thank you everybody for coming in for a little talk about all the good stuff going on and a little 1971 baseball. And that'll be all for tonight for me. I'm gonna watch Brother Cadfile. I love that show, that series. If you use Digital Diamond or Ball Score, you don't need the lineups. Okay. If you use Digital Diamond Board Game Companion, yeah. I just the syntax, and that's not Mark Cohen's fault. I'm just an idiot. The syntax just throws me. I just like the point and click way that Action PC and Pocket Pennant Run do it. Digital Diamond Baseball is going to be for Status Pro, and I do want to start playing that game more, just using its own game engine. Yep, you're welcome, John, and I hope to hear some good stuff about the Dodger or the Braves and Pirates 1966. Yeah, JT, absolutely. You take care too, my friend. He said you asked Ron if he would mind updating the board reader. That'd be great. All right, gentlemen. To all of you, thank you. This was a good active crowd tonight. We had a lot of fun, and till the next time, La Familia Borgara. We'll see you around the batting cage. Good night, everybody.